Hey, I don't know if y'all saw it or not. Whatever, it is what it is. All right. Welcome back to the I Am Bruce Leroy channel. All right. Before we get started with today's video, I need y'all to do me a favor. As always, y'all do a few things for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Before I kick y'all asses. Now it's probably know I do already. Follow me on all my social medias: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Everything is at I Am Bruce Leroy. All right. So, quick announcement, real quick. I just got fired from my fucking job. So that means this. We're going to do an overload of content, so you should see me be, I'm going to try my best to be more active on Instagram, TikTok, and just the YouTube channel in general, at least for like the next couple weeks. I know I said in the Kehlani video, which will be coming out shortly, I'll have the link down below in the description for my Kehlani Crash album reaction video. That'll be coming up soon. I just got to get the editing done. Right, so I'll have that done shortly, and once again, I'll have that down below in the description, okay? So the content, I know I said I was going to be slow with the content, but I'm unemployed as of now. And then the reasons for that'll be like, I might either upload it to YouTube or TikTok or both. We'll see what happens as we go on with that, all right? So, hope everybody having a good day. I'm doing all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's rough. It's a little rough out here. I'm tired of dealing with this shit this like third fucking summer in a row I have to deal with this shit. But I'm not getting to the reason why. I have another video coming out. Once again, either YouTube, TikTok, whatever. I have another video out explaining what the fuck happened. Moving forward, today's video is about it's about Normani's Dopamine album. Now, I know some of y'all like, why don't you react to the actual album? Here's why I'm not reacting to the actual album on camera. I did listen to the album in its entirety a couple months ago, okay? And then there's a lot of people I hear about certain people's opinions about Normani, where her career is headed, is it over with, things of that nature, right? So I'm here to kind of give my perspective and what's being pushed in y'all faces that's kind of like, just unnecessary hate and what are actually the facts, okay? Now, this is the reality situation, okay? So, I listened to the whole Dopamine album, and the reality situation, the reason why I'm not going to react to it on camera is because I have a pretty good idea. The first listen gave me, in my opinion, everything that I needed to know about the album. And I don't think it was... To me, I don't think my opinion would change very much from the second listen to the first listen. I feel like the first listen gave me everything I needed to know about the album and how it was. So my reaction to the album, and then we're going to talk about the discourse and the discussion about Normani's career, where I think she'd be headed, where I think that necessarily went wrong. So I think she sold about like 10K for the project first week. But my opinion about the album. So, a lot of people saying it was trash. I don't think it was trash. There was somebody that said that one of these music commentators, Don Angelo or some shit like that, one of these music commentary channels that said that it sounded like that she just had the music already done for a long time and never went back to go, check it to see if she can make it better, just turned it in a long time ago, whatever she had at that time, just let it, whatever. Like you see somebody, she did the music a long time ago and never went back into it to make any corrections, see if she could improve on anything like that, and the music just sounded dated. I agree with that sentiment to an extent. I do believe that she just turned in the album as it was and never tried to, let me go see if I can try to make something better. To be honest with you, I'm kind of conflicted on whether or not it's a good or bad thing. I think it's a good thing because at the end of the day, like, the music is already out, right? And at the end of the day, whether you like it or you don't like it, she put the album out, right? So she finally put music out, and that's the reality situation. So she put the music out already. So everybody just need to chill out on that, because it was a point in time where even myself, I'm not a hardcore Normani fan, but I am a Normani fan. Excuse me, to an extent. And she put out the project, right? So I'm not gonna like be too hard. She put out the music, and she's been dealing with a lot of shit. So, both her parents had health issues. Had health issues at the time. They're getting better now. Thank God for that. RCA is just, unfortunately, she's been a victim of fucking RCA's horrible label tactics. I mean, RCA is fucking horrible. They do not treat their artists right. Like, once they decide that you are not important, first off, I don't remember the last fucking act that RCA has actually had any time recently that they actually blew within the last like 5 to matter of fact, I can't even tell you one fucking person other than Normani off the top of my head that's actually on their roster. But actually, matter of fact, Tinashe. I don't know if that. Tinashe's independent now, right? By the way, congratulations to Tinashe. Little quick side note before we get back to Normani, because the video's not about Tinashe. But congratulations to Tinashe for actually having a legitimate hit, independent. I'm not too crazy about the song, but I respect that. Like, yo, like when somebody up there and they handling their business from an independent perspective, you gotta give them their flowers. You know what I'm saying? And huge shout out to Tinashe. To Tinashe. Huge shout out to Tinashe for, you know, coming up with a really big single and got people talking. It's all over fucking. It's like plastered all over TikTok. So that's good, you know what I'm saying? So she had her issues with RCA as well. And then one thing I like about Tinashe, and I didn't even know this shit until I watched a video with her and I think her producer or engineer or whatever about how they made the song Nasty. And just hearing her talk, I'm like, damn, like, I have like a newfound, I'm not crazy about her music like that. I thought 333 was a pretty good album. I'm not crazy about her music like that. But I respect that she has talent. I don't get where some of y'all had the discourse that she was trash. Like my fault, y'all saw spit. I saw her fans ride for her all over Twitter and social media. Like her fans are actually, like, she has a legitimate fan base for real. And I see their asses all over fucking Twitter, all over. So she got a real fan base, man, and she got talent. So I don't remember, some of these motherfuckers be like, yeah, Tinashe, like, I'm not talented or whatever. Even Ag, and I fuck with Ag Dez, but Ag Dez was like, yo, you think Drake will do a song with Tinashe? I'm like, hell, my nigga, like, if I don't know if you've been listening or you heard the news, Tinashe just got a big fucking hit. You know what I'm saying? Some of the rappers that you cover, my nigga, don't even have a song anywhere close to the level of where Nasty is right now. And on top of that, yo, she actually is capable of producing some good music. So whatever you thought of before about her being untalented, whatever case may be, I didn't listen to her older works, but I'm telling you right now, she has talented. And she also has more talent. I heard she knows how to mix her own records. And I heard her, the way she speaks, I'm like, yo, she knows a little something about production. You know what I'm saying? So it was really refreshing to see somebody. I have a newfound respect for Tinashe because it's nice to see somebody actually just really take their music seriously to the point where they're putting their hands in all sorts of areas. They're putting their hands in production. Like, I like people like Ariana Grande, like, not just there to just, okay, just, we're going to write the music, perform music, that's it. No, they're really, really involved in the production process. And honestly, as a fellow artist, that actually, that's really cool to see. You know what I'm saying? That they're going out of their way to learn different shit and really just kind of, to me, it's cool. But I want to make it a Tinashe video. This is about Normani. So, with Normani, the overall album, it wasn't trash. I know some of y'all want to say, oh, this is garbage. It's not trash. Again, going back to this, I think the Don Angelo guy, I do agree that the music definitely was just it's definitely sounded like it was just done a long time ago. And whatever was done at that time, it was just put out. Right? I can agree with that to an extent. Here's my thing, though. The album was very cohesive, which, under normal circumstances, it's a good thing. But in the bigger picture, not necessarily. And because of the fact that it felt like that after a while, every song kind of sounded the same. Here's also another missed opportunity, too. I felt like that, in a way, because she wanted to keep the concept very, like, is sexually liberating really the word I was trying to use it, but she wanted the album to sound very sex. Like, she was looking and aiming for a particular theme in this album. You could tell by the artwork, you could tell by the style of the tracks, which was Candy Paint, which she finally fucking released off of the shit she had on the Boise commercial. She finally put that out. And was it 11:59 or 1:59? I don't remember I think it was 1:59 with Gunna, which I actually thought was a pretty damn good song. Like Gunna did his thing on that, and Normani, it wasn't like a, oh my god, this is crazy. It was good. Little disappointed in Candy Paint, I'm not gonna lie. Like, outside of the snippet that I heard, I expected like this whole shit to be mind blowing. It wasn't. It was just it was a good track. It wasn't nothing crazy. I thought the motherfucker, like, based on the snippet I heard on the Boise commercial, I thought, oh, this motherfucker about to go insane. It didn't go insane. It was good. It wasn't trash. It was an alright track, right? Speaking of the album in general, the cohesiveness was a double-edged sword here. It was good because, like, okay, I see the concept that you're aiming for. I see the theme that you're going for. It's a double-edged sword because, like I said before, every song starts to sound the same. And here's another thing, too. Because she was so focused on keeping everything under one theme and concept, it put her in a box. And traditionally, because of how long people have had to wait, because of, you know, people kind of writing you off, because the conversation around Normani is not always, like, her fans ride for her, but it's not necessary, like, the conversation is not great around her career. Some people are really trying to, you know, really make put an emphasis on that her career is overweight, she's overrated, she never was really that good. I don't think so. I think her potential is through the roof. Not only do I think she's capable even now of reaching that potential, I believe that she has the skill sets to where she can get to that. She's just going to have to work with people who actually give a fuck about her, people who want to see her thrive, and people that's going to push her. And I'm going to explain that concept a little bit more, but I want to talk about the cohesiveness. So, this was a chance to really to get people to know you. This is her debut album. I want to know more about what you like to do outside of music. What type of person you are. I didn't get much of that in the album. And that's what happens when you put yourself in this particular box of, oh, I want this to be cool and sexy. Because the reality situation is, especially this era more than ever, we have to know the person behind the persona. It's so important. And the biggest thing and the biggest stars, we understand their real life personality. If you look at the biggest stars of all time, the legendary artists, we know their personality outside of the booth. We feel like we don't know everything and we're not supposed to. But we have a general idea of what kind of people they are outside. We don't really. Here's the thing. I could tell Normani's a hard worker. From the outside looking in, I don't know her. I could tell she's a hard worker. I can tell she's very passionate about what she does, and I can also tell that she's an introvert. She doesn't really be on social media like that, and we'll get to that part later on. But the concept and theme, trying to stick to one particular theme, it boxed her in and it kept her from the opportunity of letting the listeners know who she is as a person. How was it having to deal with your parents going through that? How is it? You don't have to say all the business about the label shit. Give me some insight about what you're going through, how you're feeling. How's your mental state been dealing with all of this shit? You're dealing with RCA not supporting you. Dealing with your parents, unfortunately, going through their health issues. Give me an idea through the music how you're feeling about that. What do you like to do outside of music, right? How do you see relationships? How do you see relationships between people, whether that be friendships, whether it be relationship with your family, or whether that be romantic relationships, right? What about your relationship with your new boyfriend? You don't have to tell me the whole tea. Just give me some things like, oh, what type of person he is. It's not my business. I don't give a fuck like that. You know what I'm saying? But just in general, if, you know, it's the connectivity, the relatability, right? What type of person? You don't even have to say the nigga name, right? But just put a story out there. Make it, put enough in there to the point where, like, okay, I could tell you talk about a real person, right? You could always describe, you could put down, oh, when's the first time we met? How does your boyfriend make you feel? How is he different from the past relationships that you had? So all of this cohesiveness and trying to box yourself under one theme and concept, it prevented her from becoming relatable. Because there's so many unanswered questions that I feel like that could have been put in the music that really could have helped boost her sales more, because now people feel like that, oh, I actually know that this person isn't just a persona, it isn't just a musician. Like, I feel connected, I feel like that I'm talking, that I'm listening to a reflection of my own voice. You know what I'm saying? That goes a long, long way. People don't understand how important it is. And because there's no artist development, because the reality situation, a lot of them motherfuckers are making mid, and niggas ain't really getting money like that no more, because nobody's really a superstar outside of the usual suspects. We know who the usual suspects are, right? When it's R&B, it's Summer Walker and fucking SZA are on top of R&B right now. Chris Brown, I'm gonna put him in there too, whether y'all like it or not. I don't give a shit. Chris Brown, SZA, and Summer Walker are running R&B right now. That's the truth. It's nobody else. You can't tell me it's nobody. I'm telling you right now for a fact, off of interest, fan engagement, who's getting the results, who's getting the sales. Chris Brown, Summer Walker, SZA. That's who R&B is focused on right now. And Kehlani might go, but that's just my bias. That's not. It's Chris Brown, Summer Walker, SZA. They're the ones that's getting the most. The fans are most active with those three. Those are the ones that, you know, are right now. And then also Usher. Usher really ain't far behind because he's capable of making a good track. You know what I'm saying? And he's still maintaining his relevance. You know what I'm saying? So, but really, it's those three I just mentioned. Hip hop is Drake, Cole, Kendrick, Future. We're gonna put her in there. Him in there. Nicki Minaj. We can't sleep on Young Boy. You definitely don't want to sleep on fucking Tyler the Creator. Lil Durk coming up in the world too. You know what I'm saying? So those are the guys that's running shit. You know what I'm saying? And then we can't forget about Uzi and Travis Scott as well. But like, you know, like hip hop is not really a one. It's not a one person leader outside of Drake. Everybody just like, okay, who's the leader of this type of rap? It's like, who's the leader of subgenres? That's kind of how it's like. Drake is the apex, and everybody else is kind of fall in line. Or maybe he's mad to say Kendrick, but whatever. I don't. Music is subjective, but this is my opinion of how I'm viewing shit. If I was helping the artist develop, the first thing I'm gonna ask you is, what's your story? What's your story? And we have to figure out how we can incorporate that into your music. Right? Even if you're gonna like, I don't want to really give everybody everything, you don't have to, but it has to be tied to who you are as a person. And if it's not, then you have an issue. Because if you can't really, even let's just go back to examples like Jay-Z, Eminem, go to examples of Kehlani even, go to examples of 50 Cent. We know who these people are. We know the type of people that they are. So it wasn't just like, oh, singles, jingles, and this, that, and the third. Their story was very much a part of who they are. And the reason why those guys are legends is because their story fueled and their story was closely tied to their brand. So people have to understand. Singles and jingles is cool, but if we don't know who the fuck you are as an artist, it's very, very hard. You're already putting a ceiling on your career before it gets started when people don't know the type of person that you are. Right? So, right then and there, that's what it is. Number two, I felt like the songwriting was just too okay, too average. I think she could have talked about things more in depth. I feel like she could have done more. She could have talked about multiple topics rather than just plain sex appeal, relationships, and that's it. It just I feel like she could have broadened her topics more, talked about things with a little bit more depth, and really make the listener have to do a little bit of thinking and really kind of bring them into your world, if that makes sense. So I don't think the songwriter had enough depth in there, and the concepts necessarily either. And I think also, vocally speaking, she played it very safe. Which, again, the idea of great singing is knowing your range, understanding your range, and being able to maximize that, which is cool. But it doesn't always work for everybody. It is sometimes when it doesn't work, it's obvious that it doesn't work because the music is stagnant. So because you're not trying to push yourself vocally, the music was kind of stagnant. I think the production wasn't bad. I don't think the production was bad. I think it was alright. Like, it was alright. So overall, if I had to get a rating from like 1 to 10, I get an album like a very tentative, and I mean very tentative, because I'm kind of like bounced between like 5.5 and a 6. It's a 6, but it's a very, very, very light 6. There was just some tracks where like, just overall, just like the one thing that really just stuck out to me was the fact that more depth in the songwriting, pushing your vocals, and really making an experience. And I mentioned this in the Kehlani video that I'm about to put out, and I'll mention this in this video too. Kehlani did a really good job of making her album an experience and trying different shit and exploring different concepts. Her album wasn't perfect either, but I think she did a better job of executing that. And here's the reality of the situation. This is the truth. I think this album would have been better received had she earned the trust of the public, established a great reputation, because right now her reputation, let's be honest with you, is fickle. I love her. I think she's amazing. But her reputation right now is very fickle. It's like her fans are supporting her, but they're not ready to like really like, yo, is this solo career going to work out for real, or it might be time to pack it up? That's the conversation. It's not her solo career isn't necessarily set in stone. Here's the reality situation. You have to have awareness of what's going on. I'm gonna explore some topics. So let's talk about the album rollout, and let's talk about. So first things first, okay? The project overall, you have to understand your predicament. Every artist has to understand the predicament and the narrative that surrounds their name and their brand. The narrative is that you're not that girl. You're overrated. You had your moment with Wild Side, but that's about it. You're overrated. You're not that good. Okay? That's the overall narrative. People are losing interest, and people are like hesitant to really give you a shot, because you know it's some maybe I feel like you probably could have tried a little harder in certain aspects, and some things were just out of her control. So it's a little bit of both. I feel like that she could have done a little bit better. I'm going to get into what she could have improved on. And then I'll also have a conversation about. So I'm going to get straight to the point. With an album, if that album would have been good, if she released music on a consistent basis and her narrative was good, that album would have been passable. When you've been out the game as long as you have, and you have the narrative surrounding your name that's not necessarily positive, you have to come harder than that. You have to really, 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 you have to fucking act like that if this album ain't good, you're going to lose everything. You will never ever be able to make music ever again in your whole life. You're going to be shelved. Like literally, if this album doesn't do well, you're going to be shelved. What I mean by this, a sense of urgency. How can I tell there's a sense of urgency? By the music, how it sounds, how it makes me feel, right? I can tell with somebody like SZA SOS, perfect example. Had a hiatus. She's probably, her and I believe Summer Walker are still over it. Those two albums were a perfect example of sense of urgency. They had a little hiatus. When they came fucking swinging. Both of those albums are, both of each of those artists, still over it to me is Summer Walker's best project. And SOS, despite the fact that some people may disagree with me, is SZA's best project. Because there was a sense of urgency. They were trying different shit. They were acting like that they were about to be fucking evicted. They were about to lose every fucking thing. That's how that sense of urgency has to be when it comes to making this music. Because the reality situation, the narrative is not good surrounding your name. Your career is on a fickle foundation. It's nothing solid underneath that foundation. So when you come in, you gotta come in fucking swinging. You have to come in swing. Like, it's not good to make. You have to make sure every motherfucking song on that bitch is a smash. You gotta be looking to do an R&B version of Get Rich or Die Trying. Because to me, Get Rich or Die Trying is the only album, hip-hop and R&B wise, I don't know about everything else. Hip-hop and R&B wise, the only album to me that I would say, there's no such thing as an album with no skips. That's also a myth I gotta debunk. There's no such thing. The closest thing to that was Get Rich or Die Trying. There's literally not one fucking bad song on that motherfucking album. When I talk about checking all the boxes and all that, you got to make a R&B version of a Get Rich or Die Trying. That means every motherfucker on that bitch. Maybe a couple tracks you can get away with being like, this ain't hitting. Every motherfucker has to grab your attention and make the listeners go, oh my fucking gosh. This is crazy. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how I was with Summer Walker and Sister Shit SOS. That's how I was with Still Over and SOS. It was some tracks like, oh my God. When I heard Snooze, and then I heard like how she had, throughout the song, she had interpolations from some of the songs with Control. And it blended so far. I don't know who made up that creative idea, but it was fucking brilliant. It was like nostalgic in a way. It was creative and it was done well and it was pleasing to the ears. It's like, oh my God, this is fucking genius. Whoever decided like, yo, we're gonna make an interpolation, and it's like it like represents a journey. It's like, yo, this is where we came from, this is where we are now. It's like, oh, I remember this song, Back from Control. You know what I'm saying? And now, like you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a sense of urgency from both of those artists. I gotta hear the hunger. I'm not saying she's not hungry, but I gotta fucking hear it. I gotta feel it. I gotta hear that motherfucker through the digital audio that you are starving. Just like when DMX came out, you could tell he was hungry. He didn't have to fucking say it. You heard it in the goddamn music. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can hear when an artist is fucking starving. I can hear it. I can hear when an artist is just like doing like the bare minimum when they're not even touching the surface of their true potential. And I can hear when that motherfucker like literally so goddamn hungry they can eat through the goddamn floorboard like a termite. I could tell. It's just because I have it with myself. And I can recognize it and hear it in most people's music. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like I eat, shit, sleep, breathe this motherfucker as an artist. So I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I have a knack for hearing shit. You know what I'm saying? I trust my ears. I trust my instincts when it comes to music, because I have really good instincts. Y'all figure that out later on. Bottom line is this: moving forward, you gotta knock that motherfucker out the park. It ain't good enough to just bunt, steal a few bases. No, you gotta knock that motherfucker out the park. You know what I'm saying? You really do. You gotta hit that motherfucking ball so hard it knocks out the stadium lights and it's all sparking and every motherfucking thing go dark. So with the rollout, few things you fucked up on. Number one, the candy paint shit. That gotta be out. I don't care if the label's not supporting. You gotta get that out. Once you put that motherfucking snippet in that commercial, you gotta put it out. Especially when people know you're on a hiatus, you gotta put it out. You understand what I'm saying? You have to put the fuck you call it. You gotta put the song out. You waiting 4 or 5, maybe 6 months after you put out the damn commercial, that's unacceptable. You can't do that. Like I said, the gun track was good. Another thing too. No visuals ready to go. This is what you have to understand. I get it. RCA is making it hard for you. I understand that you spent $1 million out of your own pocket for this goddamn video. That's a lot of fucking money. Especially because 9 times out of 10, that you're not getting you're not getting a ROI, which a ROI is return of investment. You're not making $1 million back. So that's a huge, huge fucking loss. I don't even know if she probably saw, hopefully she got enough money for it. I don't think it was even, I'd be surprised she was anywhere close to at least half of that. So the investment paid off, but did it pay off as far as getting that ROI? I'm not necessarily sure. Because based on a contract, labels work, this, that, and the third. You feel me? So, the reality of the situation is with the rollout, you gotta have the music videos ready to go. I'm not saying shit. I'm not releasing a motherfucking thing unless the visuals is ready to go. Why? Because what do people... That's why artists, you gotta understand why fans fuck with you. You have to understand your strengths. One of Normani's strengths, one of her biggest strengths, maybe her biggest strength, is her music videos. We don't need nothing crazy that's like fucking Maya, My Love Is Like, or even a goddamn Wild Side. We don't need a crazy expensive video like that, okay? It's not necessary. But we need something. Okay? It's in 2024, it's no excuse for you not to have a visual out. You can film a fucking video with your iPhone. Cole Bennett and Lyrical Lemonade be doing that shit all the time. You can film a video with your iPhone. Fucking Kehlani did her shit in her backyard, taught us how to do it. There's no excuses. At that point, I can't blame the label. I gotta say you're not doing your part. You gotta understand what type of artist you're. A visual artist. Your fans know that you're a visual artist. I don't want to come off disrespectful, but put the motherfucking videos out. And don't put no music out until you got them visuals ready to go. Because that's the type of artist that you are. That's how motherfuckers know. You be like, oh shit, you dope with the music video. That's what people fuck with you for. So make sure them bitches is ready to go. Don't put out no music or announce. Make no announcements if the visuals ain't ready to go. And there's no excuses for you not to film it because, like I said, it's 2024. You can film shit. I got the little Get Rich or Die Trying phone here. 50 Cent didn't get it to me though. But anyway, you can film this motherfucker with something like this. Even though this is a motherfucking Motorola, whatever the case may be, you can film. We can make it happen. There's Premiere Pro. There's mad software. Yo, we gotta go to the. That's why one thing about it. Shut the fuck up. That's why motherfuckers gotta watch the. I don't know if it's still on Netflix. It's Genius. It's a Kanye West documentary. I suggest all artists go watch that because all artists gotta have. If you want to make it to the fucking top, you gotta have a take no prisoners, fucking never take no for an answer mentality. You gotta have that. That persistency, yeah, it was annoying to them. Maybe it came at some not great times, but that persistence. That persistent and consistent in your face, I want this, I want this, I want this, give it to me. He was hungry and he was making everybody know that he wanted the fucking opportunity. Even though they wasn't trying to give it to him because everybody saw him as a producer, they didn't see him as a rapper. He didn't fucking say no for he broken rules. You gotta do the fucking impossible and sometimes do shit that makes you uncomfortable in order for you to get to the top. And to really reach your potential. Sometimes average effort or like, I try my best at it. So you got to break some fucking rules. You got to really go above and beyond. If you really want to get to a certain level, you got to go above and fucking beyond. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she doesn't do that, but like, there's more that she can do, and I know it. You know what I'm saying? There's more that's under her control. You feel me? So already the rollout, you already fucked up because you're not doing what your strength is. That's you're a visual artist. That shit got it. You have to get that together, okay? That's one thing. Another thing is this. She said some things that's kind of like, and I understand because sometimes when you're in certain predicaments, I don't give a fuck how talented you are. It's going to shake your confidence, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But it's two things, okay? I didn't necessarily like hearing, but you know, it's what it is. First things first. Never really tell anybody. Because somebody tell you, oh, I like this song of yours. I think one of the interviews, she was like, you like distance? I don't really like distance. Everybody loves motivation. Motivation wasn't really it for me. It's like, I didn't really like it. Feel like I was not being myself. When the people like something that you created, shh, don't say nothing. Even if you don't like it, say that motherfucker when it's like, 20 years down the line, 15 years down the line, when nobody give up, when that moment passes. Now when motherfuckers really active in that moment, when you, whether we like it or not, whether you have a song that's like, I'm not really feeling it like that, if that motherfucker go crazy, you better act like that it's your favorite motherfucking song that you ever done. Because one thing about it, if you want people to be confident and believe in you and invest their money and their time into listening to your music, you got to be confident in yourself. You can't ask anybody to believe in you and to invest their time and their money into you if you can't even invest in yourself. And it's not about the money thing. Confidence. And I get it. You're dealing with a lot of shit. I know it's not easy to do that, especially with your parents. Another thing as well. Your parents gave you the go-ahead. Hey, keep going. I watched the Apple interview. She kept talking about that if it was up to her, she'd be home. She kept saying that shit over and over again. I'm like, that's the problem. You remember Rocky 3 when Mick died or he was on his deathbed and he had a heart attack and Rocky was like, I'm not going out there. And I think he slapped the shit out of him and told him, he said, go out there and do it. Do it. And he lost because he had so many distractions, so much shit going on. He had his kind of like a father figure to him. He on his deathbed, and then he got to go out there, go fight a nigga that's hungry than a motherfucker. And then mentally he ain't in the right space because he ain't prepared the right way. He don't know what the fuck he get. He get to a nigga that's like from the bottom. He was from the bottom too, but he not in that headspace no more because he enjoying the riches. He eating, he living. You feel me? But so when he walk, he didn't know he was walking against a fucking monster because this nigga had fucking nothing to lose and he fought like it, which was with that character was Clubber Lang, and he lost because mentally he didn't prepare the right way. The Mick being on his deathbed was a distraction. He wasn't focused. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as he got over the fact him and Adrian was talking on that beach, he said, it's because of me that Mick ain't here. And once he got over that shit, he pushed through. And guess what? Rocky looked like the fucking greatest fighter I ever seen. That nigga had speed. He got to use his jab. He was fast as a motherfucker. Like, literally, Rocky 3, in my opinion, was probably like his best. Some people want to say Rocky 4 because of the beat he had to take with Drago. And you might have a good argument with that. But Rocky 3, that motherfucker was like, he was fast, he was powerful, he was quick. Like, talking about skill set wise, Rocky 3 was at his best. If you want to say Rocky 4, I can't argue with you on that, but for me, it was Rocky 3. Your parents gave you the go ahead. I get it. You want to be there for your parents. I get it. You know, you got to drop what you got going on to make sure your parents are right. I get it. They gave you the go ahead because the reality situation, I'm going to say something that's true, but it's fucked up. My fault. Nobody gives a fuck about when you are an entertainer and you are a public figure, especially in an entertainment business, nobody gives a fuck about what you're going through. That's the reality situation. We care about if you on that motherfucking field, whether that's acting, whether that's being a musician, whatever the case may be, perform. That's all we care about. Even football players be, I don't know how much pain they be dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Maybe in their house they be feeling that shit. You don't know how much pain these football players be having to go through, but what do fans and these people care about? When your ass on that field, I don't give a fuck what injury you dealing with, perform. So I don't give a fuck if you about damn near by broken ribs. Bitch, you on that field, perform. Basketball, shit, motherfuckers be getting fucked up. I don't care. Like, nigga, listen, you better be out there going to get some buckets. You feel me? It's an unfortunate reality, but it's the truth. When you're a entertainer or a public figure and you have a job that's providing entertainment to people, all people give a fuck about is if you done your job by entertaining them. They don't give a shit about what you're dealing with. It's a fucked up fact, but it's true. They don't give a fuck. Did you perform? It's either you performed or you didn't perform. And when she kept saying that she wanted to be home, I'm like, well, that's really what the music sounded like. You wanted to be home. And I don't mean to be a jackass or harsh or try to like be like a cold-hearted motherfucker when I said what I said, but it sounded like you didn't want to be here. You understand what I'm saying? The reality situation is no matter where you're at, who you are, you're a public figure, whether you play sports, you're a musician, you're an actor, you're in the business of providing entertainment to people or service people care about, can you get that service done? You're a football player, can your ass score touchdowns? Can you play, whatever your job is as a public figure that's there to provide some sort of entertainment to people, we care about, did you entertain or did you not entertain? That's the truth. Another thing, someone throwing it to you, she's a victim of racism. She's a victim of racism within her own goddamn group. You just imagine she's dealing with colorism and racism in the industry. She's dealing with a label that doesn't believe in her. She's dealing with her parents' health being at risk. It's a lot on a person's brain. You know what I mean? So I say that to say this. I give her the benefit of the doubt to an extent. But like I said, when you're on that court, you're on that field, you're in that booth, you gotta perform. And once your parents gave you the go ahead, my motivation was what it made me knock it out the motherfucking park. This album dedicated to my motherfucking parents. And I would have took what my parents was going through and I put all my fucking pain, all my frustration, everything I dealt with, I put that motherfucker in a digital audio format. I'm opening up a fucking door. I'm putting all my pain, everything that I dealt with, all the racism that I had to undergo, all the label playing games with me and shit, all that motherfucking pain and suffering is going to that goddamn door. Whether it's Pro Tools, I'm the only nigga one of the few niggas that use FL Studio, but that's neither here nor there. Whatever goddamn fucking door I use, I'm putting that motherfucker in there. Period, point blank to end. Okay? That's the truth. So, I think that's it. That's all I gotta say. So, in a way, I need to take it easy because she dealt with a lot. She put the music out. But at the same time, I do feel like there needs to be some accountability on her part. And I think that, in my opinion, moving forward, she got to get back in the mode of, I'm a musician, I'm an artist. This is what I do. This is how this is what I live. And I truly believe she loves this. And I think that she's a hard worker. She's a very talented person. I think the expectations on her are not unfair. I think they're exactly where they should be. People say, well, she's not Janet Jackson. You don't got to be Janet Jackson. But the expectations of her achieving greatness, so what if we put those expectations on her? Good. I hope that time she proves all of us wrong and fulfills them. And truth be told, I still believe she can do it. But mentally, she got to be in the right place. Like, I try to keep this video as objective as possible. I ain't trying to be no jackass. I love Normani. I genuinely fuck with her. Not a crazy fan. I'm definitely a fan of her work, 100%. And I want to see her do good. But that's just my opinion, y'all. That's all I got to say, man. Got a Cash App I'll be putting in the description. It's under Bruce Leroy, and it's also the Black Faye Long. In the meantime, while I'm trying to get my shit together and get back on my feet, you don't have to do it. I'm not pressuring nobody to do nothing they don't want to do. Please, help a brother out. I need the help. I could use the help. If you can't do it or you don't want to do it, I'm not mad at you either way. Please, if you can, I don't give a fuck if it's $1. Something. Cash App a brother. You know what I mean? I'll have that shit down below in the description. The Kehlani video, the reaction where I did react to her full album a second time, that's out right now. You don't want to miss it. I was going crazy on that. Y'all going to love this one. If y'all like the video, man, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. All that, man. I'm out of here, man. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace. Hey.